Welcome to Financial Investing Radio, where you'll learn the secrets for consistent, high-probability returns in the financial markets for additional income to change your life. Grant creates consistent, high-probability trading systems for the financial markets and has applied them over the past 5 years. He's only recently started sharing these tried and true market secrets. As a gift to listeners, Grant is offering his high-probability indicators for free. Go to financialinvestingradio.com and download yours today. Now, here's your host and trading veteran, Grant Larson.
Hey everybody, this is Grant. Thanks for joining. I wanted to talk a little bit today about using the market effectiveness chart and the engine on NASDAQ, but that's such a zippy little instrument that it reminded me of when I lived in England a lot of years ago. I drove a Mini while I lived there. That's obviously a really small car. It has excellent handling. Anyway, it would handle the country roads really well, and cornering was a snap, so it was pretty peppy. And sometimes the NASDAQ futures reminds me of that, right? It's really zippy. It'll move on you quickly. The Russell's like that as well, even faster. Hey, in this podcast, I'm going to look at using the NQ futures market effectiveness chart and the price chart. And many of the same characteristics apply as you see on the E-mini futures chart with the market effectiveness chart. So the principles translate. Now I'm going to take a look at June 26th, 2017, and we're going to start with the market effectiveness chart. And as you know, we're looking for the gear shifts, right, where there's misalignment between the efforts going on under the hood and what price is actually doing. And that gives us a clue that shifts are going to take place either in the direction or with renewed emphasis. And so it's a trade opportunity for us. Now, to take a look at the charts that I prepared, you go to financialinvestingradio.com, look for FIR number 20. You'll find the charts and videos there which accompany this podcast. Now, I'm going to illustrate 6 opportunities that are associated with the gear shifts during the first 2 hours of trading. I'm not going to look at the entire day, but just wanted to point those out. Now, as you open the charts, take a look at points A and B on both charts. So what I did was I drew these vertical lines on there, labeled them A and B, and they correlate to each other. So on the market effectiveness chart, that's where you see the gear shift. And on the price chart, that's of course what price is doing in that particular moment. Now, in the case of A and B, what's happening here is at the open, we've got price had initially been going up at the open, but it started to go back down. And that actually created the misalignment because on the market effectiveness chart, it continued to push upward, but price was out of line with that. Now that alignment came back together just after point B, where the two get correlated and you have a strong sell-off. So always remember that. In the case of A and B, I wanted to point that out. Sometimes at the open, they'll really stay disconnected for a while. And what you want to do is you want to wait till they snap back together. And that occurs on the market effectiveness chart right after point B, where you see the red line going to the top. When that happens, then you look at point B on the price chart, and it's lining up to go down. All right, so that gives you a visual clue for that. So sometimes the opens can be a little crazy like that. Now let's move over to C. And as you look at the price chart on C, ask yourself the question, what has price been doing, right? And the answer is, well, it's just been going down, right? So in this case, the trade for C is contrarian. In other words, it's going to go the opposite direction. So if you look at the market effectiveness chart, you'll see that there's a gear shift there. It's trying to push up. You see that the market effectiveness chart has been trying to push up, even though price has been coming back down. There's the misalignment. And the way you trade that is, of course, by just drawing that trend line. When it snaps back together and breaks that trend line, then the trade is to the upside. And in that case, not a huge trade. And contrarian trade, such a strong trending, is obviously not as safe as a trade. Nevertheless, that was a high probability trade, although it certainly didn't go very far. So let's move over to D. And what's happening with D is we got a gear shift there. This is probably about the best signal, quite frankly. As it comes up on the effectiveness chart and it pushes really high up past those two MAs right there, the orange and the yellow, which is the 89 EMA and the 34 EMA. So it pushes really hard up there, gets to the top, and meanwhile over on the price chart, it's just squeezing down nice and small. Perfect for a great market structure. You draw that trend line as those two snap back together. That correlation on the market effectiveness chart comes together and it breaks down on the price chart. You got super high probability for taking a short there. That was probably the best trade and the most obvious trade actually of the morning. When you look at E and F, so E and F are interesting in that they're happening in the middle of a divergence. So if you look on the price chart, you see the market engine indicator. Now that's the green line. So that's starting to show some divergence there with price. And in the middle of E, you've got that divergence going on. So yes, when you see a gear shift, you ask yourself the question, what has price just been doing? Well, it's just been going down. All right, then the opportunities to go up. So you trade that and you'd get very, very small sort of return, and then it's going to pull back hard on you, and it's going to finish completing that that divergence, which is then your next break opportunity back up. So it's a signal, not a super great one because there's still a lot of pressure. F, though, is a much better one. Again, we get the gear shift on the market effectiveness chart. On the price chart, you look to that. Price has been going down. Be prepared for the break back up, and so it goes. And there were other gear shifts throughout the day, but just want to point those out. The key thing about this is in all cases, the gear shift does not mean you enter the trade, right? It just tells you to look at other factors like market structure, like contacts, like where's price going, like time of day, other things like that. You know, as always, wear your helmet when you're driving a zippy car, right? Like the NASDAQ, because sometimes the slippage can be a little painful. All right, that's it for now. Until next time, trade safe. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining Grant on Financial Investing Radio. Remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Don't forget to download your free high probability indicators before your next trade. Visit financialinvestingradio.com now.